A drink to another ex. It's a nice colour, eh? It's vodka, Solo, Mother, and blue lemonade. So I didn't know in advance if I was going to do this vid. Because if we go back to that last vid, 9 Deadly Sins, I ended up with a little cliffhanger of the last person I was in a relationship with. So from November to about early January, I thought this relationship would be better than the last before that one. Because, you know, I made all these videos about that crazy ex, and there was a person that was a good friend of mine for 3 years said, you know, you need to get away from that and be with someone good. And I said, I'd rather just be single. And when I broke up with the crazy ex, I was just like, I don't want a relationship. But this one person said, well, be in a relationship with me. You know me, you know I wouldn't hurt you. I was like, yeah, I know you because I've dated you a couple of times and it's never worked out for the same reason I'm about to say in this vid. So I gave my friend a chance, yeah. I didn't want to date her because I knew that it was going to be just bullshit after bullshit. And what I have to say in this vid isn't going to be polite. And I don't really give a fuck if she does end up watching this because you did the wrong multiple times and you do need help. I tried to be a supportive boyfriend and you said you wouldn't be like the ex before you, but you weren't much better. So for anyone playing at home, I've been friends with this person for, let's say 3 years. And 3? It could be 2. And I never had any physical connection with this person. Like we kissed a few times in the past and I just didn't like her behaviour. She did stuff that back in those days was so disgusting that I thought I'd never speak to her again. You should see when this person gets in a bad mood with you. The lies that this person makes up is absolutely disgusting. The one thing I can't stand is fucking lies. Be upfront and honest. Like, don't fucking... Just because a relationship doesn't work doesn't mean that when you've broken up with a person, you slander them and fucking, you know, be violent towards them. The one thing that I've always said in the videos that I make on YouTube, the thing is they're not slander because they're all fucking true, unfortunately. And it's not me being vindictive. I said in a previous video, I think that if you could hear the messages I get sent after I've broken up with a person, it's psychotic. And they wonder why I break up with them. I mean, I'm allowed to have a big drink like this of vodka and I call this the Blue Lagoon. It's vodka, vanilla with Solo, energy drink, Mother, and Blue Heaven. And I just got a message on my phone. We'll keep this video going. Don't know who messaged. The fuck? Anyways, I started going out with this person, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was gonna work. I just thought, nah, no way it's gonna work. And it was the same bullshit problems as before. Communication. Some days I wouldn't hear from her for 24 hours. Some days I wouldn't hear from her for 48 hours. When you're in a relationship and you're not contacting your partner, when you don't work or do anything in life, I question that. So she's always said she's attracted to me, right? Well then, if you're so attracted to me like you say, and you hated the person I dated before you, then why be like them? So, for my age, I look good for my age. I've got a nice body. I've got a good job, good income, good everything, right? She don't have any of that. She drives illegally without a license all the time. She thinks she doesn't know, but I do know that she drives without a license. I've caught her a few times, actually. So one example was one night she's not supposed to be drinking alcohol. She just had surgery, right? And she's not to have alcohol on the that's what the doctor said, yeah? So she decides to, and when she drinks alcohol, she's a totally different person, and she shouldn't. Okay. So one night she's like, go get me alcohol. And I said, no, you don't need it. You don't need a fucking, starts having a go at me, and I'm like, don't want to do it. I want to hear it. And then she's like, well, I'll fucking drive and do it. I'm like, you're not supposed to drive. And you're driving illegally to go to the bottle to get alcohol when you know you're not supposed to be driving and you're driving. So it's not in case of emergencies you're driving. You're driving because... Just give me a sec. So anyways, she ended up... I said, alright, well, I'll tell you this because I don't want you driving. I'll go buy you the alcohol and you can pay me back. And she's like, oh, too late. I've already got it. I'm like, alright, do you still want me to come over? Yeah, you can come over. And I'm like, alright. And she goes, oh, I've got a nice surprise for you when you get here. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So, on the way, she's like, I'm locked out of my house. Alright, so the whole night, apparently, she's like, you know, I'm wearing fishnets on, and I'm like, well, I can see that because I'm wearing no panties under there. And I'm like, oh, is that because you want to? And she's like, yeah, I want to. And I'm like, okay. She's like, oh, when the kids go to bed, you know what I mean? You can, okay, fair enough. And she had a drink or two when I was there. She knows I don't like her drinking in front of me because I know what she's like anyway. So, had a bit more energy drinking that. Kids went to bed, kids sleep, and we're about to get, you know, down to that stage, and she gets a text message on her phone. Her neighbours want to come over and drink. Knowing her neighbours are druggies and bad people, she basically goes, oh yeah, you gotta go, that means if they're coming over. And I'm like, well, what happens to, you know, me and you? Oh, we'll do it another time. And I'm like, you're kicking me out of the house for them. Alright, whatever. And long story short, that night, she got intoxicated and ended up losing her fishnets, and in front of two male adults and a female adult, you know, the next door neighbours that came over, she was walking around with nothing on but a t-shirt and getting drunk. You fucking filthy whore. You've got fucking kids in that place and you decide to do that in front of adults and get intoxicated and have a bottle or whatever. So it's okay for you to walk around naked with a t-shirt in front of two male adults and a female. I should have got rid of her then and there. That's fucking disgusting behaviour. And I have a funny feeling something happened that night. She said to me, long story short, she was like, oh, fucking, don't worry, nothing happened. I just went to bed with the girl and laid next to her. She gave me some extra panties or some shit. I'm like, you walked around two male adults and a female with just t-shirt on, no panties, no nothing. And I'm supposed to be cool with that. Just say that they would have seen your bits and pieces. You're fucking kidding me. I'm supposed to be cool with that. And she once said to me, you know, when someone's drunk, they can't control themselves. They don't know where they are, what they're doing and stuff. And if they hook up with someone, it's not cheating. She once said that to me, believe me. Yeah, I know, right? So, obviously that was in my head thinking, well, It's pretty much cheating when you're walking around fucking no panties. At least the other ex didn't do any of that. I know, right? So I let it slide. I shouldn't let it slide, but I did. Then here comes the disgusting part of the story. So I'll show you. I am not anorexic. I won't go fully graphic, but I'm not anorexic, right? And she kept calling me anorexic and told me, oh, you got to fatten up, you got to fatten up. Well, number one, I've been to the doctors and I'm not underweight and I am pretty good for my age. I am not anorexic. So she tried to force food down me. She tried to fatten me up. Because all her other boyfriends before me have been all fucking druggies and fatsos and fucking all wrong sort of people. And she kind of wanted me to be like that, I suppose, and fatten me up. So there was an example where there was one night, I'll tell you the first part of it afterwards, but I'll tell you the second part first. So that night she kicked out the people that were living there. There was like, she had some people, tenants like living there, right? Number one's a housing trust house and she was charging people to rent. We'll get to that in a minute. Fully ripping these people off. Anyways, she wanted a bit of company after I had to talk to them because they got kicked out and there was so much drama between those two. I'll tell you that part of the story in a minute. But like, it's literally 2 a.m, right? And I'm not hungry. And she knows that my stomach's not good. I can't eat too much food. Otherwise I vomit and I'm sick, yeah? She's trying to force McDonald's into me. Eat a lolly. Eat some McDonald's. Like, no, I don't want to eat. Just because you're a fucking fat piece of shit yourself, don't fucking feed food down me. You know, the fact that she had this lap band surgery to fix her weight and all that other stuff, she's broken every single rule that you're supposed to do afterwards. She's broken it. You're not supposed to have alcohol. You're not supposed to do this. And she just does it. She could be a better looking person if she fucking, like, gets off the alcohol and shit. And actually, she's psychotic too. So, the thing that what pissed me off was, this was the night I actually, in my head, broke up with her. Because there was these, I think, Indians living at her place. Alright? And keep in mind, why are you living in a housing trust house? You're not supposed to have people live there and you charging them rent, yeah? But she wanted money because, you know, she doesn't have a job or anything like that, so she fucking needed money. And she came home about 9 o'clock at night because she went on a holiday with her mum and her kids, yeah? And she got back home and there was dog shit in the house, right? And cat shit. No, a theme here. 3 chicks from last year, her included, and 2 others had dog shit in the house. Anyway, so for some reason the people that were looking after her house actually took photos of it, and I'm like, oh, why do you don't even need to take photos? Anyway, long story short, she kicked them out. She kicked the people out. Said, and this is like the middle of the night, right? They had nowhere else to go but their car. And obviously their belongings were still in the house. And she's like, I'm not giving them back their belongings. They've got to pay me $500. Where'd you get $500? That's how much damage is done to the carpet. I'm like, you've cleaned up all the shit in every room. There is no damage whatsoever. I need a professional fucking cleaner to clean this fucking shit. I'm like, you've already cleaned the shit up. There's not $500 worth of damages, right? You're trying to rip these people off getting their phone. I'll fucking piss on their furniture. I'll fucking kick the pregnant woman in the stomach. I'm like, as soon as I heard that comment, that violent comment, I'm like, well, you're no better than my ex. Well, I'm nothing like her. I'm like, you threaten violence on a pregnant woman? And then you start calling the woman a whore and him a cheater, a liar? She just started flipping out. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. How dare you? I broke up. I even said then, and you say that shit? So that was the moment where I saw that bad side and I was just like, no, I'm not putting up with this shit. No fucking way. So I had to play peacekeeper between both of them because they were outside in the car. They're saying, oh, we just want our stuff back and all that. So she ended up saying $500 and you get your stuff back. They barely had enough money and they coughed up the $500 and she gave them their stuff back. She scammed $500 off them. You horrible person. There wasn't even damage to your carpet. I dread to think what she probably spent that $500 on, but she ripped $500 off them. Unfucking believable. And that night I said to myself, that's it, I'm done. I knew that the relationship wasn't going to work, and the fact that, you know, she's always going to drink, she's always going to have an anger problem, she's always going to be rude and violent. I can't be with her. It's a shame because I really care about her little one. I care about her so much. But yeah, I can't help her. I can't help her mother, sadly, and if that's the way she wants to be. And she was saying to me when we did try to have sex once, oh, we should try one time, right? Yeah, in the 2 months we're together, you think, oh, there would have been sex and stuff. No, because the only time that we tried to was apparently I was too big and she was too tight. I said, when was the last time you rooted? Oh, 1 year ago. When was the last time before that? Oh, 1 year ago. And I'm like, yeah, well, I can see bullshit lying there. Because on New Year's Eve, right, I'll tell you a story. We're supposed to do something New Year's Eve. And long story short, I swear she kissed someone on that night, but I'm not going to go into that. But the fact that you didn't want to spend New Year's Eve with me and you made up some bullshit story. So, the Youngblood concert came and gone, right? So, I was technically still with the girl at the time. Hadn't heard from her, and I was like, well, this isn't a relationship. It's not working. I'm done. I hooked up with another girl after the concert. That's going to probably be in a vid coming up sometime down the track for what happened after that. But after that, I'm like, you know what? Stuff this. I'm done. I'm done with your bullshit. I'm done with your games. I'm done with you not talking to me for a couple of days on end. Saying, you know, the one thing I will say about the other one before her, at least I could go there whenever I want, have affection, actually felt like I was, you know, appreciated. But yeah, this was a disgusting relationship. So what have I done since then? I've not talked to her. I've not talked to either of them. Considering that when I did break up with her, some fucking psycho guy, I don't know if it's her boyfriend or my ex's boyfriend, I don't fucking know, going woo 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 woo, and then she started saying, oh, you told your ex to come beat me up and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I haven't even talked to my ex, and you're saying that you talked to my ex because she told you that I was sending people to beat you up? What the fuck? And after that, then I was like, that's it, I'm done. If you want to talk to someone that you told me not to talk to or be with, and you thought was psychotic and a liar, and you're believing those lies, then fucking, you're just as bad as each other, and I blocked them both. Have I hooked up with someone since? Yeah, I'm on my third hookup of the year. I hooked up with some random goth chick a few weeks ago. That was fucked. And after that, I haven't talked to that one since either. But yeah, I've just done my own thing. Gone and played poker. Fucking doing very well in poker. Number one at my venue again. It's like, you hear it all the time anyway. The last 3 games at that venue, I won 80 the other night, 80 before that, 240 before that, 25 at another venue. So I'm up for the season, which is pretty good. It would have been a lot more if fucking Pocket Queens beat Pocket Jacks like they're supposed to. Yeah, don't get me started with that one. If I win that hand, then yeah, there'd be another couple hundred added to that total. So, but yes, I don't know what I'm gonna do when it comes to relationships anymore. I'm fucking done with them. I honestly don't believe in love. I don't believe in relationships. I'm happy just doing my own thing, hooking up with whoever the fuck I want, doing whatever the fuck I want, and not having violence, drama, or negativity in my life. Because I'll tell you something, I'm going to say it like it is, because there's a fucking bitch on my Facebook, right? And I will say this. She is the most cocky, arrogant person because she thinks that I'm not good enough for her. That there's no chance of ever us catching up or doing anything. It's your loss, sweetheart. I mean, I look at you like you're just another typical bimbo on my Facebook that doesn't have a brain to realise that you're not going to be happy with your life the way you do things. Because I'll tell you something, to anyone that thinks their looks will get them places, what happens when you lose your looks? No one wants you. A decent guy does not want to put up with kids or bullshit or drama or violence. The moment you show violence in front of me, you can go fuck yourself with a rubber hose or Law and Deer lawnmower. Because at the end of the day, I will keep hooking up with randoms. I will keep having fun. I will keep just being myself. The thing that I liked about my Friday night venue is I'm very well liked. And I even had a shot with one of my mate's girlfriends the other night. I didn't think I could take a shot of vodka straight from vodka, but it was good. Like, she's happy birthday if you're watching. But the one thing I'll say about that relationship, him and her, they've been together a year and a half. And I'll be honest with you, what I saw last night between them two, that's love. It's a beautiful relationship, and they're both good looking people, and they're suited for each other. I looked at them two and I gave him a hug. I gave her a hug because that's what a relationship's supposed to be. Just two beautiful people together. Communication, chemistry. Both just happy to be with each other. I've not had that in years. I could say one person in my whole life. You know, I was like a man whore at one stage. I didn't want to settle down, didn't want a relationship, and then this one person popped up into my life and yeah, changed my world. And then when we broke up, technically she dumped my fucking ass, and she had every right to, by the way. After 6 years of just toxic abuse from each other, you know, I don't blame her, but she knows that I wasn't the bad guy either, because, you know, what I had to put up with is, you know, a lot of bullshit. And she will tell you that, you know, I wasn't always the bad guy. But the relationship I saw the other night, I was just like, they're both really good looking people and they're young, and I can see them being married, kids. There's just something about those two. Like, I've seen relationships. I see a lot of them all the time, but the way they look at each other, I don't know if they notice this, but I see love in their eyes when they look at each other. I see the glow. I feel the heat coming off them. Like, I think they're really meant to be together. I know, and I haven't said this about a lot of relationships because I've seen plenty in my time where I think it's not going to work, but there was something I saw in her, especially the other night, where I was just like, yeah, she's happy. He's happy. It was her birthday. I mean, happy birthday. But I don't know if they know it. There's a lot of love there. And there's a lot of trust there. And I like the fact that she's open to stuff, he's open to stuff. You know, and that's so cool in a relationship, that they don't judge each other. They are both physically attractive, and I can see them like lasting. And I'll tell you what, if they ever break up, I will try to put them back together, because I think those two really are meant to be together. And like I said, you know, as long as they give each other space and they communicate and be honest with each other, like, I know that that's her first boyfriend and first everything, and I know that you can tell there's a lot of love there, and that's what I would look for in a relationship. Someone that is very affectionate, someone that doesn't do drugs, doesn't smoke, doesn't fucking want to go out and party all the time and fucking, you know. I hate the fact that I'm always been labelled as, oh, you only date single mothers. It's not something I've chosen. They chose me because they can't do any better. And they put on a bullshit sob story to make me feel sorry for them. The chick that I hooked up with, right, after that Youngblood concert, she actually taught me something. As funny as this may sound, like she says, look, the reason why you're an easy target, Andre, is because you're a good looking, kind, caring guy. And women that are not going to get anyone, they choose you because they know that you're vulnerable and you can lower your guard down. They tell a sob story and you're in, you know. That is true. When someone has a sob story, I'm like, you know, more lenient to try to help them when they need to help themselves. Because they know they can't get anyone. So they get me and then they're like, oh, he's waking up to my games. He knows that I'm playing. Because I do. I wake up straight away and I get rid of him. And they hate that. And then when I do get rid of him, yeah, all this nastiness and violence. And it's like, you saw the last vid. I'll leave a link for the last few vids. You see what I go through for the 9 last year. And with the one from this year. I don't need that shit. I fucking don't need that shit. At the end of the day, you want to threaten me with violence and stuff, go right ahead. I don't give a fuck. Your problem isn't with me. It's the fact that you've been exposed. It's the fact that the truth's come out. That's what you hate. You hate the fact that I told the truth. You hate the fact you live with dog shit in your house. You hate the fact that you're smashing up walls and fucking shit. You hate the fact that you're a loose cannon. And you like violence to solve things. If a woman can't even clean up her own house, then that tells you something. And the fact there's a woman that's nasty and violent towards people, that's not someone you want to be with. You know a lot better. If they've got no respect for their house, then they've got no respect for you. I mean, my room ain't exactly clean. You can see the bag right there. That's bag for my bottles. I haven't taken it out yet. But apart from that, yeah. Clean bed, clean floor, clean everything. Because I don't live in filth. Okay, dust is probably the only thing in my room. But apart from that, you know, I don't have long left in my life, right? And as my brother would have said, you know, every day could be your last. Why not do the things that you love? Do the things that make you happy. Do the things you love. Doesn't matter what people say about you. Doesn't matter what, if people don't want to be with you. Just enjoy life as much as you can. Because, you know, I at my age, there's nothing left. There's nothing left in the tank. There's nothing left in my brain either. I'll be honest with you, I'm even surprised how good I am at poker, considering the rest of my life is pretty much gone pieces. Don't get me wrong, my house is rented out, I'm getting a bit of an income there. Maybe extra hours coming soon in job and stuff. Could get another job, but I don't have someone that I could just be like, alright, so let's just give an example here. I go on Messenger right now, okay. That one. Alright. No one. There is no one on here that would be awake that I could talk to. There is no one that I could drive to and go hang out with either. And that's cool. Well, I could have tonight with someone. Did say that I could go and see them, but I was just like, 45-minute drive to chat. I don't know. It's a bit much. I don't feel like in a chatting mood. I'm going, like I said, watch the wrestling in a minute and fucking play some... Oh yeah, I gotta play some FIFA. I gotta play some... Yeah, and I gotta edit this video too. There'll be stuff in this video that will definitely be edited for obvious reasons. And I hate going back because there's one bit of the video I have to go back and edit, and it's like, fuck. Because I know in the bit you got to cut the things into segments, and yeah, I don't even know what part of the vid that is, but you won't notice it on your end. You probably will, but I said something I shouldn't have said on here, so I've got to cut that out. There won't be any fancy intros to this video. I don't even know what I'm naming this video. Oops, I did it again. Yeah. No, I won't call it that. I'll call it Story Time with Andre. No, story time. The Last X. Here we go. That sounds good. Because I don't like some of these videos. Sometimes I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I've seen this channel grow dramatically, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm shocked in some ways because I had like 80, 90 subscribers, then 100, then 120, and then about 160 now or something. And the views go up. And the reason why there's less views than usual is because I've hidden stuff on my Facebook profile. It's like completely private. Whereas before, I was getting a lot more views when it wasn't private. But now, because certain exes are stalking me and fucking obsessive, it's like I'm just hiding everything away. Because, yeah, I'm happy being single, don't get me wrong. I do get my hookups every now and again. I wish I just had one person I could just fuck anytime. I hook up with any time. Not just, like the one, like I could have hooked up with a chick tonight. But I don't want to be like that. I just kind of want to be just enjoying my Blue Lagoon. I know one ex said you put too much alcohol in things. I don't do. And this is the Blue Heaven Lemonade. These are not cheap either. So I've got that, and for the vodka, I will show you, because it's a very nice one actually. It's this vanilla one. Divas Cat Vanilla. That's like the shot that I had the other night with my friend. Wow. That was a nice, like, very nice vodka there. That was good. I still had to drive home afterwards, but I was alright by then. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning. But, yeah, like I said, I didn't want to make this vid because I do have a soft spot for this person. I do care about one of their little ones, and I'm not gonna lie, I do miss them. But I don't need that drama. And I honestly, when she decides to unblock me again, because I blocked her on my end, but I know she unblocked on her end, but I know eventually we're going to have a conversation, me and her. And I'm going to straight out tell her, like, look, you scammed $500 off the people. You were threatening to hit a pregnant woman. You were threatening to urinate on their belongings. You tried to fatten me up. You talked to my ex and believe my ex when she said the stuff to you. I still can't believe that. That's probably the worst thing. I don't know if that's even the worst thing, but fuck. And I'll be honest, and I'm saying this to the gentleman, I just want those two to get help. Honestly, I just want those two to be happy and get help. Like the one that fucking, before that, the one I made 4 videos about. I just want her to get help. And leave me the fuck alone. And not be violent and threatening me. How do you expect me to stay in a relationship? Like I said in that video, it'll probably be in the 4 corners at the end of this one. The day that she went schizo and started smashing things, I'm not going to stay around a sort of relationship like that. And that's why that day I dumped that person. It was like a year ago when, a little bit of an update for the 9 Deadly Sins video. The first person I hooked up with last year, right? Oh yeah. I'm so glad I broke up with that person, because I ended up finding out that only a couple months after she got arrested, went to jail for beating somebody up with a boyfriend, and yeah, apparently it was really bad. And the other night she was on one of the social media apps, and apparently, because she's married now and her husband lives with her, but he has another room or something. So he's asleep and she's doing this live stream calling this guy baby, and this guy's saying I love you and she's saying I love you back. And yeah, it was cheating on the worst level. Like, this guy obviously doesn't know that she's doing the live streaming app and calling someone her boyfriend and saying love you backwards and forwards and showing bum cheeks on fucking camera and stuff. Oh my god. I'm so glad I got rid of that person. That one was bad. But someone asked me the other night, how many chicks you reckon you're going to hook up with this year? Well, Well, according to one of my friends, she wants to be the 7th one. And I said to her, hey, love, I've got to get 3 others before then. But then, I don't think it's going to be hard for me to hook up. I don't in one way. I kind of do want it to be 10 this year, like an actual 10. But, yeah, I don't see a relationship. I don't see kids. I don't see marriage anymore. So, I don't feel loved. I don't feel respected. So, I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's 10, 20, stays at 3. I don't think it's going to stay at 3. I know definitely there's one already. It's 4 at least. But yeah, I can't really see anyone really changing that number in the next few weeks. I'm just thinking there's one possibility, and I can hook up with someone that I've already hooked up with. But yeah, like every day, you never know. You just don't know what's around the corner. There could be someone that could end up being your wife. Hopefully not. I'd love to stick her tongue down my mouth. If you know that reference. In my mouth. That guy's fucking awesome. Seriously, the way he says it. So yeah, I'm going to go edit this video. Go back and find the bit where I'm supposed to edit. And yeah, just stay safe, everyone. And be happy with life of what you've got. And do the things that make you happy in life. Because I think that the people that are in your life that you do love and appreciate, you got to let them know. There's no point holding back anymore. You deserve to have a happy life. And if it's someone that clearly in the relationship isn't giving you respect, love, affection, communication, end it. Don't even think about it, because you will find someone better. And I'll leave it at that.